My name is Tori Blanchard, and this is my audience. How many of you know someone who has or is currently suffering from hypoplastic left heart syndrome? So, not many of you. This is because it is a very rare congenital heart defect that many people have never even heard of. Today, I am going to inform all of you about the severity of this rare congenital heart defect, which is formally called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. This defect is so rare that only about 1 in 4,000 babies are born with it. Last year in the United States, only about 960 babies were born with this defect. My cousin is currently suffering from hypoplastic left heart syndrome and has just completed his third surgery. He requires a feeding tube, is developmentally slow, and is now 3 years old. He will have to have surgeries performed throughout the rest of his life. But that is how I became aware and educated about this rare defect. The information I am about to share is important to be aware of because even though it is rare, it doesn't mean that it can't happen to someone you know or even a future child of your own. It is beneficial to be educated on the basic facts of this defect in case you ever come into contact with someone who has this heart defect. Today, in this speech, I will be covering the general description of hypoplastic left heart syndrome, the symptoms and side effects as a result of having this defect, any preventive measures that can be taken, and any possible treatment methods for this defect. This congenital heart defect is when there is a hole in the wall called the septum and divides the upper chambers of the heart, which are called the atria. The hole in the wall varies case by case. Sometimes the hole is able to repair itself, but in cases where it can't, surgery is required. If a baby is born with hypoplastic left heart syndrome, that means the left side of the heart can't effectively pump blood to the rest of the body. So the right side must not only pump blood to the lungs, but also to the rest of the body as well. The hole also increases the amount of blood that flows through the lungs, and over time it may cause damage to the blood vessels in the lung, which can further damage as well. Symptoms and side effects that children experience may vary from child to child. A brief list of the few most common side effects include cyanosis, which is a bluish color of the skin, lips, and nail beds, pale, clammy, or sweaty skin, heavy, rapid breathing, fast heart rate, and cold and diminished pulses in the feet. Some of these side effects may persist throughout life and others may not. Hypoplastic left heart syndrome can be diagnosed during pregnancy or soon after the baby is born. There is no exact known cause for this defect. However, some factors that may increase the chances of this defect from happening include a genetic defect, abnormal chromosome, and exposure to an environmental toxin. It is important to note, however, that it can happen for no apparent reason and that there is absolutely no way of preventing it from happening. Another important fact is that about 10% of the babies that are born with this defect also are born with other birth defects, and it's more common among males than females. As a treatment method, some babies and children are given medicine to help strengthen their heart muscle, lower their blood pressure, and help the body get rid of extra fluid. Soon after a baby with hypoplastic left heart syndrome is born, multiple surgeries are done in a particular order to increase blood flow to the body and bypass the poorly functioning left side of the heart. Surgeries for this congenital heart defect are usually done in 3 separate surgeries. These surgeries do not cure the defect, and the child may have lifelong complications. In conclusion, we have covered the basic description of hypoplastic left heart syndrome, side effects, how it is not prevented, and some treatment options.